The following program has been generously funded by the Patterson Foundation.
Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of This Book is Cool. My name is Beth Duda and I'm the director of the Suncoast Campaign for grade level reading. I want to welcome all of the students, parents, and educators that are watching the episode today, and I think you're going to be pleased with the book that we have to share. It's called The Carrot Seed, and if you look here on the cover, there's a very cool thing about this book already. It's celebrating its 60th anniversary. So this is a book that your grandparents might know, your parents might know, and now it's a book that you will know. And we have a wonderful guest with us today from the Selby Gardens. Tracy Calla's with us today. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, Beth.
Tracy, you have one of the coolest jobs of anyone I know. You work at Marie Selby Botanical Gardens. Can you tell us a little bit about what you get to do there?
Well, I agree, it's a pretty cool job. I am the manager of school and family programs, which means I coordinate the field trips and camps and our preschool program, and so I get to take kids along on tours through the gardens and look at all the cool stuff that grows there.
It's one of the most beautiful places in Sarasota, I think, and we thought you were the perfect person to talk to about the book, The Carrot Seed, because you see things growing every day.
Mm-hmm, sure do.
It's amazing. Do you have your own garden?
At home, most of my plants are ornamental plants, which means they're nice to look at. I don't really grow a lot of edibles, but I used to grow a pizza garden every year.
A pizza garden?
Yeah.
No, tell me about that. What is a pizza garden?
Well, pizza gardens don't grow bread and cheese, but I used to grow things that taste delicious on pizzas. So everything from peppers and tomatoes and basil and other herbs to even things like pineapple, which is one of my favorites.
I know many, many people who enjoy having pineapple on their pizzas. What a great idea to name your garden and to put the foods in it that all go together in some way. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I really like about the book, The Carrot Seed, is that the little boy is certain that his seed is going to grow, even though an awful lot of people think that it's not going to grow. So what does it take for a seed to grow?
Well, like we saw in the book, one of the things is patience and perseverance, because that seed starts off really, really tiny. And so with patience and regular care, then you can get it to turn into something awesome like food. So you will want to make sure that it is growing in a place that gets lots of sun. And then it also needs some regular watering, because plants need water to grow. And just like the little boy, you have to care for not just the seed itself, but also the area around it. So to take out any weeds that might be growing and to make sure that there is an ideal growing condition for it. So just like people, we need a little help sometimes to grow up to be big and strong.
It's true, and people taking care of us help us to grow big and strong, and if we take care of plants, they can grow to be big and strong. So I want to ask you, because you see thousands of plants grow every day. Mm-hmm. Is it still exciting for you when a seed pops up through the soil for the very first time?
Oh, yeah. Especially things that have started from seed, because they are just tiny little babies with so much potential. And for me, that's really hopeful and really joyful, because it's like it's new life and it has so much ahead of it. And I just love that every spring, to be able to see all the new growth coming up out of the ground or coming from the branches of the trees. So it never ever fails to amaze me every year, even if it's a plant that I know very well.
Now, I want to ask you one other question, because Marie Selby Botanical Gardens is amazing with a lot of different places that you can explore. But one of my favorites is the butterfly garden.
Yeah.
Now, I know you can't grow butterflies, but why do you call a garden a butterfly garden?
Well, we call it a butterfly garden because the plants and the features in that garden are the things that butterflies like. So you usually have two different kinds of plants. You'll have the plants that are called nectar plants, and those are the plants that make sweet nectar for the adult butterflies to eat. And then you also have host plants, which are the kinds of plants that the baby caterpillars like to eat. So when they're in the two different stages of their life cycle, they have a little bit of a different diet. And a butterfly garden has both of those kinds of plants. So that way you can have the baby ones and the adult ones throughout the year.
So it's a perfect environment for butterflies.
Exactly.
Well, I am looking forward to coming and seeing you at Selby Botanical Gardens soon.
Hopefully.
And I want to thank you so much for being with us today and helping us have a love of growing things. But I also know that you are a world-class reader. So
I am. I've been reading ever since I was a very young child. My mom believed in the importance of reading and books, and so she read to me even when I was a tiny baby. So I love reading and I love books. I just think that being transported through the imagination to whole new worlds, going different places and meeting new people in my imagination is just, it's so much fun. It gives me an opportunity to explore things that I may not be able to explore in my real life. And it's also really important to be able to understand the world around us. So being able to read helps us to navigate all of the things that are happening around us, that helps us to understand why things happen the way they do or how to solve problems. So I think it's an important superpower to have, to be able to read, because it just helps your brain to grow and you learn all kinds of new things, and it makes you feel powerful when you can understand what's going on in the world. But it's also just a lot of fun to read something that's fiction.
I agree with you. And now every time I see you, Tracy, I'm going to be thinking that you have a superpower of reading. So thank you so much. It was great to see you.
Yeah,
Bye.
it's nice to see you too, Beth.
The Carrot Seed book also has some terrific words for our word bank. One of the words is the word planted. Planted means placing a seed or a bulb in dirt or soil and then watering it and hoping that it will grow. Another word is the word seed. Is a small part of a plant that can grow into a whole new plant. Many of the seeds that we plant come from other plants. If you look at a strawberry, you can see a lot of seeds on the outside of a strawberry. Sometimes flowers in the middle have seeds that will fall on the ground to create new flowers. Another word in the book for our word bank is the word weeds. The word weeds stands for any plant that isn't growing where we want it to grow. Many times we have a special garden like Tracy talked about her pizza garden, and we want only the plants in that garden that are going to be great on a pizza. So we weed or take out the plants that we don't want to have in the garden. Sometimes weeds can take all of the nutrition out of the soil so that the plants we want don't have a chance to grow as large as we'd like them to get. Another word for our word bank is the word sprinkled. Sprinkled means to spread or scatter something like drops of water onto something else. So you can sprinkle a plant as you're putting water all over it, or sometimes you can sprinkle things like confetti or glitter. Sprinkle is a great word. And the last word from the carrot seed that we're going to put into our word bank for today is the word known. That word means a powerful feeling. To know something is to have a feeling that you've really grasped it. So the word known means that you really have grasped that idea. You know it, so it is known. We have an activity for the carrot seed today. Now, what activity do you think would go with this book? You're right. Planting a carrot seed is a great activity. So you can do it in a garden, or you can plant a seed in just a cup. Now, you have to be careful that you put holes in the bottom of the cup so that the water can come all the way through. You don't want it to get too wet. So you can take a styrofoam cup or a paper cup and put holes in the bottom. Then you'll want to go ahead and put soil or dirt into the cup. And you don't want to bring it all the way up to the top. Maybe keep about an inch, and you fill it with soil. And then you can go to the store and buy different kinds of seeds. So we went to the store and found some carrot seeds. I'm interested to see what a carrot seed looks like, aren't you? Oh my goodness, they're so tiny. Look at how tiny these are. Each one of these little pieces is a carrot seed. And when we plant them, each one of these can turn into a plant and turn into a carrot.
You don't even need a big yard to try your hand at gardening. Plants like these can be grown indoors too.
What you'll want to do is make sure your soil is in the cup, and then you make a hole with your finger, and then you sprinkle in a couple of seeds. Cover them up with dirt, and then again you want to sprinkle some water on it to make sure that they're getting the nutrition they need. And then you'll want to put your cup someplace where it gets some sunlight, so the plant will grow. You don't have to only plant carrot seeds. If you wanted to plant a flower seed or a different kind of seed, this method would work for that as well. We're so grateful to Tracy for being with us today, and we're grateful that you have been with us today. We hope you'll join us again in another episode of This Book is Cool. And remember, reading is the key to succeeding. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you again real soon.